All right, don't adjust your sets. That gray screen you have there that you see there after the little splash screen goes by, this is what you look at when you fire up Diamond Mine Baseball. I want to thank, I had a couple viewers. I had Aaron John DFW and Sakuni 007 who came in for part one of a multi-part baseball for Windows tutorial. So that went about an hour. Goes into the League Manager Power Tool in depth and begins to touch on the advanced draft module. So, and also showed off the Digital Skybox website. So hopefully you guys will like that. So I'm going to do something that I did one other time on the channel, and you can think of it as a bedtime story. We're going to play a game of Diamond Mine Baseball. This will be the next game that we're going to be doing a tutorial on. And even though it looks Spartan, don't let it fool you. This game also is really, really, really deep. Probably a little easier to navigate than Baseball for Windows. So let's play a game. And we haven't done any dead ball baseball or any older baseball for a while here. So what this is I'm using the All-Time Greats Volume 1. So this has there are two files that are kind of like the Baseball History Collection for Action PC Baseball. It comes with 2 leagues already set up and scheduled, ready to go. And then All-Time Great. So this is players from, I think, 1876 to 1968. And then Volume 2 is 69 up to whatever year it is, 2008, maybe later. No, I think it's up to 2015. So for those of you that like newer baseball, and I do too, there you go. So let's go back to League One and let's play the Chicago White Sox, maybe against the Cleveland Indians, or maybe we could play the Cubbies against Detroit. I don't know. We got one in progress, but worry about that one later. So this is neat because these are all-time great franchises, but it comes with a number of them. So I forget, there's a whole bunch of Red Sox teams through the years. You can see there's 2 different versions of the White Sox. That Cincinnati 2 tells us that this is the second version so that you don't have doppelgangers, things like that. So let's pick a game. I guess it's going to be, we could do Reds. The Giants have been getting a lot of love lately. Let's do the Chicago Cubs, Detroit Tigers. Let's do it. So I'm going to play. Select the game. And we're going to let the manager take care of everything. And our colors and text are fine. And let's just go. All right. Welcome to Navin Field. Temperature at game time, 36 degrees. Guess you'd expect that in April in Detroit. Wind blowing out to right at 16 miles per hour. And we have a clear sky. So now we are in the main game. Welcome to Diamond Mine Baseball. No crowd noise, no anything. It is just this. And as you'll see as the game goes along, the best damn play-by-play there is. I'm going to read it for a while, but then I'm going to start sort of just glossing it a bit. All right. Let's look at the lineups here for the Chicago Cubs. Kyler leading off in left field. Playing at second base, we got Billy Herman. Third base, batting third, Stan Hack. Batting cleanup, Hack Wilson. Phil Cavaretta in the 5th spot. Augie Galan in the 6th spot. Gabby Hartnett catching and batting 7. Billy Jurgis playing short and batting 8th. And Claude Hassel pitching and batting 9th. And then, of course, we can also check out the Detroit. We got McCoskey, Garinger, Greenberg. Heilman, Columbine, and York. Lake, Rogel, or Rogel, however you say it, Schoolboy Rowe pitching. All right, Kai Kyler steps in the box, and we are ready to go. Schoolboy Rowe looks in, has the sign from catcher Rudy York, and here's the pitch. Kyler sends a high fly ball to right center. Heilman slips over to his right and makes the play. All right, 1 up, 1 down now. And here's Billy Herman. And the 3-2 pitch. Rowe lets it go. And this one hit out the air to McCoskey. Just a routine fly ball. Center fielder is there. Gloves it. 2 down. Brings up Stan Hack, now batting in the third spot. Hot corner man for the Chicago Cubs. Schoolboy Rowe, here it comes. And this is a let-up pitch, grounded to first. Greenberg is up with it, runs to the bag, and he outruns Hack, and the side is retired. Score that one 3 unassisted. We go to the bottom of the first. Chicago Cubs nothing, and the Detroit Tigers coming to bat. Barney McCoskey will lead it off here, right fielder for the Chicago Cubs, and he'll be facing Claude Passeau. All right, Passeau on the rubber, the 2-1 delivery, line to first base, and threw into right field. Cavaretta couldn't stop it. Score that one a single. McCoskey aboard, and here comes Charlie Gehringer. Gehringer, Hall of Fame second baseman, bats lefty for these Detroit Tigers. Here's the pitch to Gehringer, and Gehringer doesn't wait around, lining a single into right field. McCoskey around second, and he will hold there. So 2 on for Detroit, and here comes Hammer and Hank Greenberg. 1-2 is the count. Passeau works to Greenberg. Pitch is down in the dirt. Scooped nicely by Hartnett. 3-2 pitch on the way. This one driven to right. Wilson, however, at the other end, and he has it 1 away. McCoskey tags up at third and coasts into third uncontested. Runners at the corners for Detroit, 1 away, and it brings up Hall of Famer Harry Heilmann. Heilmann plays the left field pasture here for these Tigers. And here are the dimensions here for Navin Field. So straightaway center, big ballpark, 467. Down the right field line, 371. Down the left field line, a little shorter at 341, but is indicative for most of these dead ball parks. This is a big park, and I love this little kind of cut in there over in right field. These parks were built to be able to fit into the cities, into these urban areas. So here we go. All right, here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing, hopper to short. McCoskey going for home. McCoskey will score. All right, Jurgis will make the play on to first, throwing out Harry Heilmann. So Detroit, with 2 down, picks up a run. It is 1-0. And that brings up Roy Columbine. Columbine, left fielder here. Passeau deals. The pitch is on its way. Ball loose behind the plate. Now a throw down to third. Gehringer wasn't going anywhere. Columbine is back in the box. 3-1 pitch. Passeau offers. Passeau just misses with an off-speed pitch, and Columbine heads down to first, and Gehringer remains at second. So 2 on here for the Sergeant, Rudy York. The 1-0 pitch. York pulls a bouncer into the hole, moving right. Jurgis has it. He'll go to second with the throw. 4 out, number 3. Score that one 6-4. Detroit picks up a run on 2 hits. We go to the top of the second inning. The Detroit Tigers 1. The Chicago Cubs nothing in this little game of Diamond Mine Baseball, a game that gets very little play on my channel, but I play it a lot offline. All right, leading off for Chicago here in the top of the second is Hack Wilson. Phil Cavaretta waits on deck, and Augie Galan is in the hole. I should tell you that you can manage this game, by the way, if you want, but we'll do that in our tutorial. All right. 2-1 the count. Here's the delivery to Hack Wilson. Hard line drive and past the diving leg for a hit. Score that one a base hit. So Chicago gets their first hit of the game here in the top of the second and brings up Phil Cavaretta. First baseman digs in from the left-hand side. And here's the pitch. Cavaretta puts down the bunt. This one bunted foul right in front of the plate. York pouncing on it. Rowe from the set. 2-2 pitch on the way and gets Cavaretta screwball, and Cavaretta is sent packing. So score that one a strikeout. First one for Rowe. And quickly 1 down here as Augie Galan steps in. Galan, the center fielder. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Galan fighting one off, flips it into center field for a base hit. Hack Wilson rounds second, and he will hold there. So I like that. How he just flips it into center for a hit. All right, here's Gabby Hartnett. Ball one pitch, little pop-up right above the mound, drawing a crowd, but Schoolboy Rowe, refusing to leave his domain, makes the easy play himself. All right, 2 away now for shortstop Billy Jurgis. 3-2 pitch on the way. Schoolboy comes to the plate. There go the runners. Jurgis with a roller down the first base line. Could be trouble. Greenberg charges hard. He lets it roll, and it curls just foul. We'll do it all again here. Rowe comes to the belt, the payoff pitch. Runners are off to the races. Pop foul left side. Lake chasing after it, but he's not going to get there. It is in the seat. Still 3-2, and the battle continues. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners off with the pitch, and Jurgis pops it up and foul ground off the third. Lake runs out of real estate. Jurgis getting a good look here at Schoolboy Rowe. Pretty cool. We got a couple people watching. Thank you, guys. Rowe sets. Full count. Rowe kicks and fires. The runners are off. Grounded softly to Lake, who is deep at third. The running throw on one hop in the dirt, but picked by Greenberg for the out. Wow, a lot of drama there. So we go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers maintaining a 1-0 lead. And we will see Eddie Lake, Billy Rigel, and Schoolboy Rowe. All right. Eddie Lake to lead it off here against Claude Passeau. Lake has a strike on him. Passeau works to him. Ground ball between first and second. The play is made by Billy Herman, and Lake is out. Score that one, 4-3. Here's Billy, shortstop, Billy Rigel. Passeau toes the rubber. Count is full. Passeau deals. Got him looking. Change up at the knees. Rigel took it for strike 3, and he is gone. So 2 outs here now. Brings up Schoolboy Rowe. Right-handed batter. The 1-2 offering from Passeau swung on and missed, and Rowe goes down swinging. Score that one a K. We go to the top of the third inning. The Cubs trail the Tigers 1-0. This little rare game of Diamond Mine baseball. Love to get somebody like Legends, Chris Slovik, somebody has a great broadcaster voice, do one of these. I think it'd be a blast. All right, it'll be Claude Passeau for the Cubs, and back to the top of the order, Kai Kyler and Billy Herman. Passeau, right-handed batter. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Hit to the shortstop, Rigel, who throws it across for the outs. So 1 up, 1 down, back to the top of the order now for Kyler. So Kyler in the game, and I want to show you, so we'll just stop here for the second. So we can see right here that right now in the game, he's just had an at-bat, no hits, no anything like that. So this will track everything going on. There's Aaron Reed back with us here in Diamond Mine Baseball. I was going to cheat and have Action PC running in the background just for crowd noise, but to hell with it. I can't be arsed. All right, here we are. Here's Kyler again. 0-2 on Kyler. Schoolboy comes home. It's in there below the belt, and Rowe picks up the strikeout. So another strikeout there for Schoolboy Rowe. Here's Billy Herman now. Herman digs in, ready to go. He was out on a fly ball to McCoskey back in the first. The wind and the pitch, hard ground ball over third. This one is fair, down in the corner, and Herman has himself a 2-out double. So the Chicago Cubs here in the top of the third with a runner in scoring position, 2 away, and it brings up Stan Hack. Batting in the number 3 spot, average speed at second, and Herman. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop outside third. Lake comes over. He's at the railing. He lunges, nearly tumbles into the first row. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Heck of a catch out there by Eddie Lake. And that does it for the Cubbies. So they make a little bit of noise in that 2-out double by Billy Herman. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's the Tigers 1 and the Cubs nothing. Here in Diamond Mine Baseball, using some teams doing a season here in the All-Time Great Players Volume 1. All right. Here is Barney McCoskey. We're back at the top of the order for the Tigers. Passeau rubbing up the ball, and he's ready to deal now. So McCoskey singled and came around to score back in the first, ready to go now. 1-2 pitch, swinging a bouncer to the right side. Over to make the play is Billy Herman, and McCoskey is out at first. So 4-3, and it brings up Charlie Gehringer. Hall of Fame second baseman. Base hit last time up, wind up, and the pitch. There's a little defensive swing and a soft grounder to Herman at second. Throws on to first for the out. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down now, and here comes Hammer and Hank Greenberg. Batting in the 3 slot, flew out to Wilson last time. 3 balls, no strikes. Passeau delivers, and Greenberg takes all the way. Ball 4 down and in, and takes a stroll down to first base. So Detroit with 2 outs and 1 on, leading 1-0. And here's Hall of Famer Harry Heilmann. So Passeau steps up, throws to first. Cavaretta with the tag, and Greenberg just gets back in time. So Greenberg does have some speed at first. 1-2 on Heilmann. Passeau comes to the plate. Heilmann misses a pitch that bounces, is trapped nicely by Hartman, and Heilmann is tagged for the strikeout. We go to the top of the 4th inning now. Chicago still trailing 1-0. Tight ball game here. Nice pitchers duel between Schoolboy Rowe and Claude Passeau. The line thus far for the Chicago Cubs, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. For the Detroit Tigers, 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Of course, we can look over here very quickly. We see a nice newspaper-style box score going on here. This also keeps a score sheet as it goes along and a game log. So players of Action PC would feel right at home with this game. In fact, Steve Tate told me that this was a game that he played a lot before he got into Action PC baseball. They're both fantastic games, so you can't go wrong with them. All right, here we go. Leading off the 4th here, Hack Wilson. The wind and the pitch by Schoolboy Rowe. Hitting the ground to short, and Rigel, with not the easiest hop to play, plays it, and Wilson is out at first. All right, Phil Cavaretta now batting from the left side. He's the number 5 hitter, went down on strikes last time. The wind and the pitch hit down to second baseman Gehringer. The throw over to first, and Cavaretta is retired easily. So 2 down here in the Chicago 4th, and that brings up Augie Gallant. So he's 1 for 1 with a base hit. Rowe looks in. Here's the delivery. Line drive over first, and that's going to get down into the corner. Gallant on his way to second. He's thinking 3, and he's going to go. There is no relay, and Augie Gallant is in with a triple. That's a web gem, says Aaron Reed. All right, so Chicago looking to tie this game, potential tying run just 90 feet away in Augie Gallant, and here comes Hall of Famer Gabby Hartnett. Right-handed Hartnett takes his stance, infield pop-up back in the second. 1-0 is the count. Schoolboy kicks and delivers. This one bounced in the dirt, getting behind York, but not far enough for even the quick Gallant to score. So good job there by Sergeant York to keep that ball in front of him, preventing the tying run to come home. All right, here we go again. 3-0 is the count. Rowe kicks and fires. Hartnett taking all the way. Ball 4. This one in too tight, and he will take the walk down to first. First walk issued by the Schoolboy today. So runners at first and third for the Chicago Cubs here in the top of the 4th, down 1-0. Dwayne Martz, how you doing, man? Dwayne, you want to come on the mic? Let me know, man. Good to see you, my friend. All right, here's Billy Jurgis now. Billy Jurgis stepping in. He grounded out back in the second. Rowe throws quickly to first. Greenberg reaches for the tag, and Hartnett back safely. It's a great game on Legends Channel, says Dwayne Martz, with my Pirates. I'm hoping my Buccos, I know they staved off elimination the other night on Legends Channel. Hopefully they're still in it and maybe making you smile, because I know they're playing against your hated Giants. So I will check the game later. So guys, do subscribe. Check out Dwayne Martz YouTube network, and also Aaron Reed. Aaron Reed also does some broadcasting as well and does a lot of baseball for Windows. So back to the ball game, and thank you viewers for hanging out in what really is not a stream friendly baseball game, but it's a great one. It is such a great baseball game. All right, here's Billy Jurges now again. Here's the pitch from Rowe. High fastball popped up behind the plate. York goes back a couple of steps in front of the screen, and he has it for the third out. All right, Detroit comes to bat here in the bottom of the fourth, and Chicago making a little bit of noise, but just getting shut down. So Chicago wasting some opportunities. 1-0 your score. Again, a good classic pitchers duel going on here between Claude Passeau for the Chicago Cubs and Schoolboy Rowe for the Detroit Tigers, where Columbine will lead things off. Rudy York waits on deck for the Tigers. Columbine leading off the fourth here. He drew a walk last time up. The 1-0 pitch, and this one on the ground over first. Cavaretta takes it near the bag, touches first in time to retire Columbine. All right, here's Sergeant York. So York saving what was potentially looked like a wild pitch, but staying in front of it, preventing the Cubs from tying it up last inning. Now at the plate, the number 6 hitter, the 0-2 pitch, and York looks at a strike 3 called, and he knew it on the outside corner. So 2 away here for the third baseman for Detroit, Eddie Lake. Right-handed hitter, the 1-0 pitch. 60th pitch for Passeau in the game. Ground ball down to third, taken deep behind the bag by Hack. He calmly throws across the diamond and retires Lake. Score that one 5-3. We head to the top of the fifth. No change in the score here at Navin Field in the Motor City on a chilly day in April, 36 degrees, and the Tigers leading this one 1-0. Claude Passeau, Kai Kyler, and Billy Herman due up for the Northsiders. Passeau is the hitter. Bounced out 6-3 last time. 0-2 the count. Rowe delivers. Closed line to center. McCoskey hadn't played perfectly and has no trouble making the catch. So score that one 8. Unassisted. And here comes Kai Kyler, Hall of Famer, former Bucco and Cubby. Struck out his last time up. Count full. And here it comes. Little fly ball to shallow right. And in there for a hit. Hallman having trouble picking it up. Kyler's going to go for 2. The throw, and he is safe. Kyler in under the tag at second. Kyler with, by this time in his career, starting to maybe lose a little bit of speed in terms of a base stealer, but he could get around the bases still quickly. Fantastic player. It's one of those players that when you're doing all-time great franchises, you don't know, do I put him on the Cubs, do I put him on the Pirates? Unfortunately forgotten, except by hardcore Cubs fans and Pirate fans, but what a great player he was. All right, here's Billy Herman now. Billy Herman bats in the second slot. Strides to the plate. 2-base hit back in the third. The 1-2 pitch forthcoming. And Herman hits the crud out of the ball, ripping a single to left field. Kyler rounding third. He's going for home. The throw comes home. Herman will hold it first. The throw hits the runner and gets away from York. Schoolboy Rowe retrieves it, and Herman takes second on the play. Charged Columbine with an error on the play. Wow. So an E7 and the Chicago Cubs here in the fifth finally score. I love this too. If you click the replay tab, there you go. So you can see the whole thing again. You can change the replay speed and everything like this. So just love it. All right. Let's continue this game moving along very, very quickly. Left-handed hitting Stan Hack. Rowe popped him up last time. Pitch is on the way. This one hit high in the air out into left field. and Columbine, shy of the warning track, takes it in. Billy Herman's going to hold at second. So 2 away, a run in for the Cubs, and it brings up Hack Wilson. So Wilson ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. This one lined to third and gloved by Eddie Lake. Great play out there for out number 3. But Chicago Cubs, looks like Wilson might have been hurt. Trainer's looking at him, and Hack Wilson is out of this game, and he will miss one more day. Cliff Heathcote will come in and play right field for the Chicago Cubs. So the good news is they tie the game. The bad news is they lose their cleanup hitter. All right, bottom of the 5th here, baseball action at Navin Field in Detroit. Brings up Billy Rogel, Schoolboy Rowan back at the top of the order, and center fielder Barney McCoskey. All right, let's do this. Rogel. Anyhow, first. There we go. He struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. Jammed him, and a pop-up to short. Jurgis calls for it and makes the catch. So 1 down for the pitcher. Schoolboy Rowe comes to the plate. 1-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball to second. Herman ranges to his right, grabs it, pivots, and throws Rowe out at first. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th, and that brings up the leadoff hitter for the Tigers, Barney McCoskey. He's 1 for 1 thus far. He was out in the ground ball last time up. Paso gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 and the delivery. This one hit deep into the right field gap. Heathcote on the move, but this is going to sail by him. McCoskey might be thinking 3. He is, and he will have a stand-up triple. So second triple in the game. And now Detroit threatening to retake the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it brings up Charlie Gehringer. Batting from the left side. McCoskey moves off third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Paso kicks and fires. There's a fastball with sink, and Paso gets the strikeout. Gehringer swinging and missing. So that ends the Detroit 5th. Nothing across. They leave one in scoring position, and we go to the visitors' frame here in the 6th, and we are knotted at 1. So let me put the see if we can get Mr. Martz on here. I know he's been busy doing a lot of baseball. Maybe we have a couple minutes to have a little baseball chinwag action. Remember, we're going to have Aaron on the channel Thursday night on the Diamonds and Dice podcast, hosted by Bernie Strom and co-hosted by me. So, by the way, we're on IMDb. Want to let you know. And also, I just wanted to say, though I'm not about building the channel in terms of numbers, monetizing. I just like to have fun here with you guys and all that. But I'm very, very honored. SABR, Society for American Baseball Research, has taken some of my videos and some of the games that we've done and linked to them, put them on there, what have you. And that's on SABR's like replay site or what have you. So very, very, very chuffed by that. Very, very honored that SABR found my humble channel kind of worth it. So and particularly to Derek Bain, who's a stalwart in the baseball gaming community. So thank you, Derek, for reaching out, and thank you, SABR. That really means a lot. All right, Phil Cavaretta, Augie Galan, and Gabby Hartnett due up for the North Side 9 here. So Cavaretta in the box now. Bats lefty, bounced out to Charlie Gehringer last time. Rowe stares in, no balls, 1 strike on Cavaretta. Pitch is on its way. Cavaretta lines it into left center, rolls almost all the way to the wall, and Cavaretta doubles to open up the Chicago 6th. So Chicago making a little bit of noise here now. Runner in scoring position, nobody out for Augie Galan. So Galan with 2 hits in the game. So perfect day for him, 2 for 2. Rowe running through the signs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Rowe's pitch to Galan, chopped softly down to second. An easy play for Gehringer, which he makes. Cavaretta will cross over to third. Yeah, sure, Aaron. Yeah, just click. All right. So Chicago threatening one down here. And that will bring up Gabby Hartnett. The right-hander stands in. He walked his last time up. Detroit playing the infield in. Hartnett behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rowe comes home, grounded slowly towards second. Cavaretta holds at third. Gehringer looks him back. And Hartnett retired at first. So 2 men out here. Chicago trying to break this deadlock. This has been a tough ball game thus far. All right, here's Billy Jurgis now. Jurgis nothing for 2 in the day. Number 8 hitter. He popped up last time. Full count. Here it comes. And Jurgis swings and a miss, chasing something down and away. So Chicago threatens, leaves one just 90 feet away. And we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And we are knotted at 1. And we are joined by Aaron Reed. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey.
Hey, man. Good to see you.
Don't think I missed a little game of Dynamine.
It's something I do rarely on here, but may do more just because I think it's a wonderful game. All right, back to the action here. We got Hank Greenberg, Harry Heilmann, and Roy Cullenbine due up for the Detroit Tigers. Greenberg 0 for 1 in the game, stands in. Greenberg, who once said every home run he hit against Adolf Hitler. Very devout Jew, wouldn't play on the Jewish high holy days, and went off and fought in World War II.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Greenberg opening up here in the bottom of the 6th, ready to go. The 1-2 pitch, and Greenberg grips a frozen rope to left. Kyler going back and makes the catch. What a play! I mean, Greenberg got all of that, but Kyler, fantastic play out there in left field, showing why he's a Hall of Famer. So 1 down, and speaking of Hall of Famers, we've got another one here in the cleanup position. Harry Heilmann due up. Heilmann, nothing to. He does have a run batted in the game. Heilmann did pretty well in the Field of Dreams League. Struck out his last time up. Paso toes the rubber. 3-2 pitch, kick and delivery, and it is in there. Strike 3 call. And Heilmann may be shaking his head, but that pitch cut the heart of the plate. So you can see I'm not really embellishing too much. I'm glossing in certain areas. I think this game has fantastic play-by-play. Aaron, it'd be interesting with this game to see whether your software could pick that up.
You got me kind of curious now. I mean, is this a
strictly Windows? It's Windows. And again, there's nothing fancy about it.
Sound, no crowd,
no sound, no crowd, no nothing. So you would have to use the narrator, obviously. But I'm just thinking in terms of navigation, this is standard Windows. This would probably work for you really nicely.
Maybe.
I mean,
just a thought. But go ahead.
Especially if it picks up the play-by-play, because
man,
even with the dead Microsoft narrator voice, I mean, you're hearing, and I don't have a good broadcaster voice, but you can hear just how cool the play-by-play is in this game. It's so much fun.
Right.
All right, here's Roy Cullenbine batting with 2 down here. Bottom of the 6th inning, Detroit and Chicago tied at 1 apiece. All right, he grounded out his last time up to first. The 2-0 pitch on the way, drive to right center field, and this one will get out of here. Way back, open the window, Aunt Minnie. Roy Cullenbine's first homer of the season, and Detroit regains the lead in the bottom of the 6th in the Roy Cullenbine Tater, and it's 2-1.
As Ernie Harwell would say, that's long gone.
Long gone. They're drafting. That's what's going on. So, Dwayne, I'm supposed to let you know that you are now up for your second pick in Field of Dreams. So maybe you ought to go do that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Yeah, so you don't hold up the draft. And I'm going to continue the broadcast. All right. All right. So here is Rudy York. Let's go. 2 down. The Tigers plating 1 and regaining the lead 2-1. Still a pitcher's duel going on here. And here we go. Rudy York stands in again. And here's the 0-2 pitch. This one, a fly ball, pretty well hit to deep right center. Galan on the run, and he's got it. So that does it for Detroit. And we're going to see Jolly Charlie Grimm coming in as a pitch hitter. So Claude Passo's day is done. Midlife Crisis talking about the draft that they're doing over there for the Fields of Dreams League. He says, no rush. He says, I'm just next, LOL. So there we go. All right. So Jolly Charlie Grimm, this is a guy that I'm going to feature some night when I start doing player spotlights again. This guy was a very, very good baseball player. So we will highlight him. I do have the book here. I could do it. Hang on a second. I'm having fun. And I don't really have a weekend this weekend, as I've got to work Monday. I had to switch with a colleague. But since Tuesday is my natal anniversary day, what the hell? So I have Tuesday off, although I've got to run 3,000 errands. Not errands, but errands.
Errands, not errands.
Did you make your pick?
I asked because Clue messaged me. I think it was like maybe it's after midnight now, so maybe
after midnight we gonna let it all hang down.
Yeah,
okay,
it's just after midnight. I just asked Clue what has been taken from 1972, so I know what to pick from there. That's the year I'm going to go with.
There you go, man. Right. Well, because I don't want anybody yelling at me because you didn't make your pick.
No, it's all right. I'm on the clock, so it's okay.
Oh my goodness gracious! So Jolly Charlie Grimm. Let's have some fun. We haven't done one of these in a while, and if everybody leaves, oh well.
Is this the annual? The annual somewhat annual biopic or bio?
You haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't done one of these.
Oh, go ahead, Charlie Grimm.
So Midlife Crisis says, really, I sent Clue my next two choices so I can relax before bed. Nice. All right, good. All right, so Charlie Grimm. So what one of the things I like to do in this channel is talk about players. Most of them have been from the 19th century and dead ball era, but here's a guy that I think deserves talking about. He was a very good player, certainly not Hall of Fame, but a very, very good player. So, Charles John Grimm. All right. And here we go. By the way, my source material is the Biographical Encyclopedia of Baseball. This is from the editors of Total Baseball. Guys, you can pick up this big, big, beautiful hardback book. It's like 1,200 pages. Just beautiful. Sure. Great book. It highlights. I
could sit here and read that in Braille if I wanted to.
Yep. It highlights, I don't know how many players it highlights, a few thousand. It's great.
That's
all right. Here we go. So let me fix this over here so I can actually throw a little light in the matter, as they say. All right. When Pittsburgh traded Charlie Grimm and two other players to Chicago Cubs after the 1924 season, Pirates owner Barney Dreyfuss announced, I got rid of my banjo players. The perception that Jolly Charlie was more interested in strumming his banjo and having a good time than in playing first base or winning baseball games followed him all his life. Admittedly, Grimm was a virtuoso on the instrument, and enough humorous incidents occurred in his proximity to fill several books. But he was also a good hitter, a superior fielder, and an outstanding manager. Facts that are sometimes overlooked, and that's true. And again, I'm glad the book mentioned it, because that is one of the reasons why I love to highlight players like this. All right. As a boy, Grimm served as a bat boy at Sportsman's Park. Signed by the Philadelphia Athletics in 1916, he hit .091 in a dozen games. Wow. He spent 1917 with Durham of the Class D North Carolina League and was signed by the St. Louis Cardinals in 1918. The Cardinals brought him up for 50 games in 1918, but Grimm only hit .220 in St. Louis, sent him to Little Rock of the Southern League to learn to play first base. He was hitting .285 and leading the league's first baseman in fielding when the Pittsburgh Pirates acquired him late in 1919. Installed as the regular first baseman in 1920, he had only .227, but led National League in fielding in his position. During the next few years, his hitting showed significant improvement. The left-handed Grimm was nearly 6 feet tall and weighed a solid 173 pounds, but he seldom hit home runs, instead spraying line drives to all fields. In 1923, he had his best season, leading the league in fielding again while batting .345 with 99 runs batted in. The following year, he formed a quartet of dubious musical talent with Rabbit Moranville, George Whitted, who's, by the way, his nickname is Possum, and Cotton
Whitted.
Tierney. Grimm starred on banjo. So I guess these guys were like the first Beatles. The Pirates put on a rush in August and got within a game of the league-leading Giants, New York Giants, by September 1st. When they slipped back at season's end, Dreyfus blamed the team's lighthearted spirit. However, Grimm slumped to a .288 average and only 63 runs batted in had as much to do with him being traded as it did his banjo playing. Moranville accompanied Grimm to Chicago. Moranville, by the way, another Hall of Famer. During spring training, a photographer arranged a gag photo involving the two pranksters. Grimm lay on his back with a golf tee, holding a ball clenched between his teeth. Poised above him was Moranville, a golf club at the ready. The picture was snapped, and suddenly Moranville swung the club and knocked the ball down the course. That's cool. So Grimm hit .308 and a career-high 10 home runs for the 1925 Cubs, but his team fell apart when the happy-go-lucky Moranville was named manager. When Joe McCarthy became Cubs manager the next year, the team began moving up in the standings. McCarthy had few run-ins with Grimm, who was, in fact, one of the easier personalities McCarthy had to deal with. Prickly Rogers Hornsby and the party-loving Hack Wilson were far more trouble. Grimm hit .298 and knocked in 90 runs when the Cubs won the 1929 pennant. He batted .389 in a losing World Series effort against the Philadelphia Athletics. Pardon me. When the Cubs failed to repeat in 1930, Hornsby replaced McCarthy. Where McCarthy had used persuasion and psychology, Hornsby used criticism and sarcasm. Wilson proved particularly unresponsive to Hornsby's acid tongue, but he nevertheless batted .330, including a career-high 11 triples. The Cubs dropped to third, 17 games out of first. During the first part of 1932, Chicago was in and out of first place, but the team appeared to be well out of the pennant race by August when Hornsby and club president Bill Veeck got into an argument. Hornsby was canned. Grimm, a surprise replacement, was the perfect selection. Under his relaxed hand, Chicago steamed past the Pirates to win the pennant by 4 games. Although Grimm hit .333, New York swept Chicago in the World Series. And, of course, you guys know about the 1932 series. That's the series of Babe Ruth's supposed called shot. Anyhow, because of his managerial duties, Grimm played only part-time in 1933 and 34. After finishing in third place for 2 straight seasons, new owner Phil K. Wrigley announced before the 1935 season that nothing short of a pennant would be satisfactory. Grimm's Cubs took off on a 21-game winning streak in September to catch and pass the New York Giants for the title. But once again, Chicago came up short in the World Series, losing to the Detroit Tigers in 6 games. Although he continued to make occasional appearances through 1936, Grimm's active playing career was essentially over. He would always clown around for a cameraman, but ran a tighter ship than most fans realized. He didn't browbeat or humiliate his players, but he could enforce discipline when necessary. In July 1938, Wrigley decided to replace Grimm with Gabby Hartnett, much to the consternation of the fans. All was forgiven when Chicago put on another September spurt to win the pennant. Grimm, in the meantime, moved into the broadcasting booth and called the pennant drive. After more than 2 years as a broadcaster, he returned to the Cubs as a coach. Next, he managed Milwaukee, the American Association, which was owned by Bill Veeck, son of the former Cubs president. One day in 1943, Veeck asked Grimm what he wanted for his birthday. And Grimm said, "A good left-handed pitcher," Grimm replied. When Grimm's birthday was celebrated with a ceremony on the field, newly acquired left-handed pitcher Juan Acosta hopped out of a cake. With the improved pitching, Grimm's club won the AA pennant and the Little World Series. In 1944, Grimm returned to manage the Cubs and won his 3rd National League pennant in 1945 before losing another World Series to the Tigers. During the war years, when good players were hard to find, Grimm often told the story of a fellow who claimed, "I'm 4F and I can throw like Dizzy Dean, hit like Ted Williams, and play the outfield like Joe DiMaggio." A skeptical Grimm replied, "You must be nuts." The fellow nodded. "Yeah, that's why I'm 4F. In 1949, Grimm moved to the Cubs front office, but soon quit after dispute with the business manager. He managed Dallas in the Texas League in 1950 and won another AA pennant in the Little World Series with Milwaukee in 1951. The next year, he was named manager of the Boston Braves early in the season. The team finished seventh, but Grimm was retained as manager after the club moved to Milwaukee in 1953. The revitalized Braves finished a surprise second, and Grimm kept them in contention each year until he was fired in mid-1956. He returned to his beloved Cubs, and at different times he served as vice president, a consultant, a broadcaster, and a scout until his death in 1983. He even took one last fling as a manager for 17 games in 1960. His major league manager during 19 seasons as a manager was 1,287 wins, 1,067 losses, with 3 pennants. So just looking very quickly is his lifetime stats as a player in 2,166 games, 7,917 at-bats. Jolly Charlie scored 908 runs, 2,299 hits, 79 home runs, 1,076 runs batted in. His on-base percentage was .341, lifetime slugging average of .397, and a lifetime batting average of .290. So that's one of the reasons I always like to bring him up is because I think of some of the players that have made the Hall of Fame. And Grimm's numbers surpass. Also a pretty damn good manager, too. Is he a case for a Hall of Fame? Well, he probably won't be elected, let's face it. But did want to highlight him. So there you go. Charlie Grimm, who is now at the plate. 1-1 the count. Schoolboy delivers, and Grimm goes after it, topping it to short. Rugel signals for it, moves in toward the mound, and takes it for 1 away. And here's Kai Kyler. So the right-hander comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Grounded to Rugel's right. He is up with it and throws Kyler out at first. So good play there by the Detroit shortstop to get the speedy Kyler. 2 down now for Billy Herman batting in the second slot here. RBI single his last time up, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit up in the air to right center. McCoskey and Heilman converge on it. Heilman signals for it and makes the grab, and we will go to the 7th inning stretch. And ahem. There we go. You want to sing it, Harry?
Where are we, in Detroit?
We're actually in Detroit, but it is the Cubs playing, so what the hell?
Let me hear ya. Good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd, brother. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack and a beer of Slim Jim. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Tigers. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Oh, yeah. Holy cow.
So Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan joining Aaron Carey in the festivities. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Somebody clip that.
Bottom of the 7th action here between the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers. And here we go. Eddie Lake will lead things off here. Roy Tinning now into pitch for the Chicago Cubs, and Claude Passeau's day is done. Eddie Lake making some good plays out there at third. So Bud Tinning in there has a fastball and a curveball. Second appearance this season, no record as yet. Eddie Lake leads it off, the 2-2 pitch on the way. This one, pop fly down the third base line. And here comes Kyler, and only his speed can make it there, and he has it for the out. Kyler, again, as I've talked about, is one of the great outfielders of his time and certainly deserving of the Hall of Fame. Great player. I don't feature a lot of Hall of Famers when I do this player spotlights, but Kyler is one that we will feature in a future broadcast. Feature in the future. All right. Here's Billy Rugel. I'm gonna have to look up on Baseball Reference whether he's a Rogel or a Rugel. I've been saying it both ways the whole game. So.
I think it is Rogel.
Here's Billy Regal for the third time today. Last time up, popped up to short. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Curveball hit on the ground down the third base line. Hack with the backhanded stop to first just in time. Score that one 5-3, 2 down for Schoolboy Rowe. So Rowe holding on to a razor thin 2-1 lead here in front of the Detroit faithful on a cold day in April. Midlife crisis. Says taken 1972 Pirates, Orioles, Phils, Dodgers, Twins, White Sox, and Yankees. So that's who's taken in the Field of Dreams draft. I'm not part of that, guys, but check it out. It's so much fun.
It's a
what they're doing with that. It really, really, really is. And congratulations to Bernie Strom, who won their World Series, and they're about to move into season 5. They're drafting already for season 5. So the World Series was like today or yesterday. They did all.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Now it's like boom, we're drafting again.
We're drafting again. Yep. So the best to everybody that are part of the Field of Dreams League. I don't know if they have any openings. If they do, you want to reach out to either Big Clue or Steve Tate, members of this community. Get on that Discord, and if they're looking for teams or whatever, let them know at least you're interested. You can be put on a waiting list. It is really a lot of fun. All right, back to game action, and it's going to be Schoolboy Rowe batting here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 down, 2-1 Detroit lead. And Pat Mullen will actually come in to pinch hit. All right, so Schoolboy Rowe's day is done. Here's the delivery. Sharply hit grounder to the right side. A dive by Herman, but it goes through for a single. So the Detroit Tigers pick up their 6th hit of the ball game, leading this one 2-1, but behind 1 in hits, but that's not where it counts. All right, so Mullen just average speed at first, and we're back at the top of the order with Barney McCoskey. McCoskey having a pretty good day. He's 2 for 3 at the plate with a run scored. He steps in, 2 hits in the ball game, 3 for 8 in this series overall. 3-2 pitch, runner going, and this one fouled straight back. McCoskey right on the pitch, and the count remains full. All right. Bud Tinning ready to go again. Here's the full count pitch. Mullen off to the races, line down the left field line, running for it as Kyler, and this one will fall in. Kyler able to cut it off. Around third goes Mullen. McCoskey pulls up with a base hit, and McCoskey is 3 for 4. So runners at the corners, 2 down for the great Charlie Gehringer. And here we go. Gehringer steps in, struck out against Claude Passau back in the 5th. Tinning checks the runners. Here's the pitch, line to the gap in left. Augie Galan is after it, and he pulls it in for the out. Big play out there by the Chicago center fielder. We go to the top of the 8th. The Detroit Tigers lead the Chicago Cubs 2-1. All right, and we have a new pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Is Chief Hogsett. So here we go. Stan Hack, Cliff Heathcote, who is in for the injured Hack Wilson, and Phil Cavaretta. So these are mainly the Cubs of the late 20s and 30s. First appearance this year for Hogsett. Here's Hack to open the visitors' half of the 8th. Hitless so far today. No balls, 2 strikes, and Stan Hack. Chief with the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Hack missing there on the tough breaking ball. All right. Cliff Heathcote now. Rig Stevenson will come in. There's going to be another guy that we'll be highlighting at some point too. Much beloved in Chicago Cubs franchise history. So here's Riggs now as a pinch hitter. The windup and the pitch chopped out near second. Who's going to throw him out? Rigel with a nice play in front of the bag. Score that one 6-3. It's a 2 away now for Phil Cavaretta. These Cubs, this is an excellent team, these Cubs. Phil Cavaretta steps into the left-hander's box, doubled his last time up. Here's the 1-2 pitch, grounded hard to short, taken on 2 hops by Rigel. Rigel drops the ball, and he will have no play. Cavaretta reaches on the error, score that one, E6. And that's the 3rd error committed by the Motor City Bengals in the game. And Al Benton will come on to pitch now for these equally good Detroit Tigers.
Tigers.
All right, here's Augie Galan now. Yep, Galan, 2 for 3 on the day today. So Al Benton making his second appearance this year. No record for him yet. Galan for the fourth time today, 2 for 3. As we said, the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. High fly ball, right center field. Heilman is there, and he makes the catch. 7.5 gone here in Detroit. Chicago still down a run. It is 2-1. Now playing right field for the Chicago Cubs will be Frank Demery. So Cliff Heathcote did his job. Everything else looks kosher. Hank Greenberg, the heart of the order for Detroit, coming up here in the bottom of the eighth will be Greenberg, Heilman, and Columbine. Hammer and Hank, nothing for 2. 3-2. The string is out. Tinning pitches to Greenberg. Swing and a miss on the chase. And Greenberg strikes out. Here's Harry Heilman now. Heilman has a run batted in. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Went down on strikes his last time up. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground up the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Jurgis can't get it. But Billy Herman at second with the running off-balance throw gets the out at first. Terrific play there by Billy Herman. Score that one 4-3 and quickly 2 down here in the Detroit eighth. And it brings up Roy Columbine. Columbine, he's 1 for 2 today with a hit and a run batted in. And a run scored. And that was that homer, that big homer that gave Detroit this 2-run lead. Or 2-1 lead. Pitches on the way. Ground ball to the right of Bud Tinning. Herman is there. And the side is retired. We head to the ninth inning. Last chance now for the Chicago Cubs. They will send up Gabby Hartnett, Billy Jurgis, and perhaps a pinch hitter for Bud Tinning. Hartnett in the game. He of the famous 1938 homer in the Gloman against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Stands in now from the right-hand side. Grounded to second back in the sixth inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Benton lets it go and checked it. And did he go? Yes, he did. So the ump gets it right. 1 away here in the ninth. Brings up Billy Jurgis now. Jurgis, nothing for 3. Bob O'Farrell will actually come in now and bat for Billy Jurgis. So O'Farrell bats from the right. A 1-2 pitch from Al Benton. Strike 3 swinging. O'Farrell gets jammed by an inside fastball, and he is out of there. All right, Bud Tinning, and I think we'll see a pinch hitter. Cubs just down by 1 run, and yep, here we go. So Jigger Stats. Know nothing about Jigger Stats, but here he is.
Wait a minute. His name is Jigger Stats?
Jigger Stats. S-T-A-T-Z. Stats.
Wow.
Jigger Stats. All right, here we go.
Who'd have thunk it?
The 1-0 pitch. Benton works. Swung on, grounded to third. The throw over by Eddie Lake, and that's your ball game. All right, so we'll look at our little, let's save our game stats here. But first, for the Detroit Tigers, 2 runs and 6 hits. There were 3 errors. For the Chicago Cubs, 1 run, 7 hits, no errors. Let's save our game stats. Yes, let's save our game stats. And let's save the box score. Yay, we've done that.
I'm curious about this game now. If it's even functional with me and my
right
software.
How about it? So let's look at the pitching line here. So Claude Passeau worked 6 innings for the Chicago Cubs and takes the loss. Let's see. Let me see if we can. Can I do the little trick here? No, I can't do the little trick here. That's too bad. Anyhow, he went 6, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Walked 2, struck out 4. Bud Tinning came in, worked 2 in relief. Gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 1. Schoolboy Rowe picks up the win for the Detroit Tigers. He goes to 1-0, pitched 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. Walked 1, struck out 3. Chief Hoxie came in, worked 2/3 of an inning. And Al Benton closed it out and picked up the save. So there we go. And so we're not going to go through the whole box score. It's crazy and long.
Bunch of numbers and letters and all that.
And awesome stuff. So there you go. A little bit of
Diamond Mind.
baseball here. A little bit of Diamond Mind. So that's it.
Is it Diamond Mind or mime? Like it's miming.
Diamond Mind, like as in your
Diamond Mind.
yeah, like
Your
as
mind.
in your brain. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I was just curious on the title. I thought it said mime. It's like it's miming a baseball game.
Yeah.
Cool.
So of course it gives you guys, it gives you, the standings here. You can look at the scores. We have any box score that you want to look at that has been played. All you have to do is click on it. There's the entire box score. Also the score sheet for the game and the game log. So all nice, kind of one big long thing there. If you want to look at that. So there you go. And again, if you buy the game, I really, really suggest you get the All-Time Great Players Volume 1 and Volume 2, baseball fans. If you do, gives you about 4,600 players to mix, match, do whatever you want. They also come with these pre-made leagues. There are 2 of each. And we go into our tutorial. We'll show you some of the really, really cool features that you can do. But what's really what I like about this is the way it does it reports. So it will record like a team's wins, losses, whether they've been playing on grass or on turf. Well, in this league, there won't be any turf. But so that's kind of cool. Versus lefty versus righties, where they are in their divisions, home, road. So really, really fun stuff there. But I don't want to start this tutorial. I want to get through the baseball for Windows 1 as well. But games are automatically saved after each pitch, so you can just jump out much the way that Pocket Pennant Run does it. I don't think the new update. I'm going to check because he's sneaky about these things. If the new update is out, we're going to do another game. But it'd be Pocket Pennant Run. And if it's not, then we're done.
Pocket Pennant Run.
Pretty simple. Yep.
That's the one you showed a few nights ago.
Well, I was showing it, but the problem with it was I did the update. I did the update. I didn't do just the full. In other words, I just patched the game. The patch didn't work. But just for those curious, just for a minute, let's show that for a moment, just so people can see what's going on with it. So we're just going to leave that gray background up there, Diamond Mind, and we'll bring up Pocket Pennant Run. So when Craig does do the update, we will be on, and we'll probably do a full game of this. Why not? So I'll just let you guys know that they are adding some features to Pocket Pennant Run. So you can have pinch runners now, which is really nice. The game didn't have that before. Also, the change sides button will be going away. That's going to automate. And you can change relief pitcher fatigue ratings coming up before games. I'm glad that that Craig noticed that, because one of the few faults of this game is getting good middle reliever that can go 4 or 5 innings. But we'll do a couple innings of a game here. So let's do a box score replay. So box score replays are fun. Number of ways that you can do this. You can just pick the year and load an entire season schedule or team schedule, or a previously saved season. You can see I have a few of those there, guys. Or my favorite one, just for a one-off, if you want to do a one-off, it's called You Pick, We Pick. So what you basically do is you just pick and print, and then you can just show, like, if you want to pick a date in baseball history, or just let the AI coach pick it. And you click this little button here, and it's going to give you a list of games. So this was every game played on August 10th, 1983, and it's August 11th, so it's close enough. So let me see. Any interesting games here? I know the Orioles and Indians. So it will give you the real score of the game. And so let's mess around with it for a couple innings. So the Indians won that one 4-3 over the Orioles. So we're going to highlight that and By the way, if you don't like the year, if you click AI Coach Pickett, it will just randomly load in another day from baseball history. And not just from it will cover all of baseball history, which is really cool. So if you wanted to go back and play a certain, I don't know, Bucky F. Dent game just for giggles on that day, and as you'll see, this will use as played lineups, and whoever was on the bench came out of the pen. So we'll go ahead and play the game. I don't think we're going to do the whole game though, but we'll see. All right. So again, it will come up to this screen. If you're if you just have Pocket Pennant Run 2 and you have the software, you know these ratings already. But these ratings also figure into Pocket Pennant Run 3. All right. So the other thing that you can do too that I had failed or wasn't able to show the last time I showed this game is you can change the starting pitchers. So if you want to play around a little bit with baseball history at the daily level there, you can do that. But we're not going to. We're just going to play game day, and there's that little umpire 1940 style guy saying play ball. Thank you, Aaron. All right, so Mike Boddicker takes the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. Let's have a look at the lineup here for the Cleveland Indians of 1983. Leading off, Toby Harrah batting second, Alan Bannister batting third, Pat Tabler in the cleanup spot, Andre Thornton batting fifth, Broderick Perkins batting sixth, Gorman Thomas in the seventh slot, Ron Hassey batting eighth, Julio Franco, and batting ninth, George Vukovich.
Julio Franco, he's been around forever.
Been around forever. He's been around forever.
They used to call him the ageless wonder. He was so at like, what was it, 50-something years old or whatever it was, he was still playing.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Now here's kind of fun thing. So when you're playing a box score replay or you're playing a season replay or whatever, you can see this little kind of dotted line up here. So we see that Mike Fischlin came into the game, or Mike Frashin, I'm sorry, Fischlin. So Mike Fischlin came into the game at some point. So if you really want to stick to the as played everything, you have that information below the dotted line, of course, is the rest of your bench. And that works the same way for pitchers as well. All right. So basically the game, 3 dice, everything is kind of reminiscent in a way of APA. Here's the complete batter card over here and pitcher card over here. All the information that you need to do error checks, anything like that. Everything will happen on this screen. There's no need to consult charts. However, you can use this and roll dice and just input plays if you want. If you can just also show you here. I like to show this thing off because I think it's so cool looking. When you create the game, it automatically creates a PDF with all the with the lineups filled in, along with their ratings, the line score on the top, everything like that. So you can use this strictly as a print and play it as cards and dice. This thing is so value added.
This is
it's ridiculous.
Pocket Pennant Run, isn't it?
Pocket Pennant Run. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. So here's Toby Harrah. And basically what you do, guys, is you can see over here in the pitcher's card, right? You're always going to go off the red die, always, to see where you're going. So for Mike Boddicker, for instance, if we roll 1 or 2 in the red die, it's a strikeout. If it's 3 or 4, we're going to go to control, and we can see a lot of strikeouts there. Anything from a 1 to an 8 is going to be a strikeout. And then you also have the defense. This is where you're doing error checks, stuff like that. Or if you're playing advanced, you can play advanced rules where you're doing like range checks and things like that. You also have a batter slot or a batter column, a left-right column, power, which is also park, and speed. So here we go. Go ahead and roll the dice, and we see it's a 7 on the batter's card. So Toby Harrah, this is going to come off the left-right. So we can see here, if we go to left-right, we see that's the yellow die. We go to a 5, and he swings and sends this one out to right field. So we just do select play, and we do fly ball, right field, and enter play. And it automatically records the out, and we do batter up. And I think he said he's going to be automating even more stuff, so it'll be interesting. So here's Alan Bannister batting 1 down. So remember, the Indians won this game, actually 4-3. All right, so this one comes up again. An 8 on the batter card. We check. An 8 is a left-right, and that's 2. So we go to 2, and this one's just a grounder to third or grounder to first. You can see that dash double play asterisk. Nobody on, so this is just a grounder to first. So we just select play, and we do ground ball. Fielder number 1 is the first baseman, and it automatically defaults to the first baseman there. Enter play. So 3 unassisted, 2 down, batter up. And here's Pat Tabler. This will track stats, by the way, if you are playing a season replay. You can create your own leagues in this game, by the way, too, through the team management screen. All right, so this one's a 3. That's a control 1, and that is a strikeout. So Pat Tabler strikes out, so we'll just select play. Strikeout is automatically the default, and that's it. The change sides button will disappear. That's basically the flow of Pocket Pennant Run, but we'll do bottom here. So for the Baltimore Orioles, Al Bunbury leads it off. Dan Ford batting second. Cal Ripken Jr. batting third. John Lowenstein in the cleanup position. Ken Singleton batting fifth. Jim Dwyer batting sixth. Joe Nolan batting in the 7th slot. Todd Cruz batting 8th. And Rich Dower batting 9th. So, of course, we have stinking DH in this game.
We don't need no stinking DH.
And here, if we go to the bench, you can see
We need
that
to trademark that.
right. The Orioles used nobody off their bench in that game because you can see the dotted line. So nobody, they just stuck with their starting lineup. But that doesn't mean you have to. All right, so let's get back to game action here. And here's Al Bunbury. And Larry Sorensen. Here's Larry Sorensen's card. You can see a little bit different than Bodeker's. There's no strikeouts here on 1 and 2 off the pitcher dice, off the red die. So here we go. This is a 7. And a 7 is off the batter's card. We go to the batter's card, it's a 1, and ground ball, second base. So again, this I love. It just flows so nicely. That's it. And the cards and dice game flows just as easily. You look at the charts, and if you buy the physical game, these guys are really good developers. I would suggest, just to make it easier on yourself, if you don't, I mean, I think you should use the software obviously for printing your score sheets and doing some other things, or if you want to, you're doing a season replay and you don't want to write out. This is really nice, and you know what? You really could even use the score sheets this thing creates. Use them in other games if you want. So there's a lot of ways you can use the Pocket Pennant Run software, from playing to a game to it just being an adjunct to the cards and dice. But I would say to you to buy the mats. Now, I know most of the guys in this community don't play 19th century or dead ball baseball. So just pick up the quote unquote modern era mat, and it has all of your checks that you have to make right there. The only thing, if you really don't want to use the software, use the software here to print the cards, and then you can flip cards. If not, use this to just advance batter. So again, so many ways to play with Pocket Pennant Run baseball, and I love it. I usually put on some music like YouTube or something from Amazon, just let things play, and I'll just sit here and play baseball games. I'm so hooked on this thing. All right.
There's no like sounds or anything.
There's nothing. There is no sound in this game. This there's no bells and whistles to this thing.
No whistles, just
but it is feature packed. It is.
Sounds like it's deep too. I mean,
it is.
Like,
it is. I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, so like on the batter card, for instance, right? You look at games like Strat or APA, they're going to have probably a lot more outcomes. But I think that enough of it is covered here that you get a good game of baseball out here. So you get 48 possible results, and for each batter, of course, it does change. I like the convenience of having this here because I have limited space right now. So when I do jump back into really playing cards and dice, I still have a nice way to do it without whatever. If I don't feel like flipping cards, this does it all for me. Mm-hmm. Plays a decent game of baseball too. There's no AI in it per se, but the managers are rated. So up here on the left, you see that Ferraro for the Indians, he's rated B for calling intentional walks. I'm going to C, right? But for a lot of these things, like we'll hear for Joe Altobelli. So as a manager, he's a C for stolen bases, a B for bunts, and pinch hitter right now is a C. And you could even get a manager's decision in the game, and it will say stolen base, no. Would he bunt? Would he pinch hit? No. But he says yes for a bunt. So obviously there's nobody on there to steal. Anyhow, let's go here with Dan Ford now. One out here in the bottom of the first. And this one's a 1 pitcher card. So we see that's control 11. And this one is going to be a walk. So it's a choice between a wild pitch and a walk. Of course, we're just going to make it a walk. So we do that.
Wow.
So walks are recorded thusly. Walks are under hits. Click on hit. Click on BB. Enter play. We got a runner on first. So we click on this player. We can see that his speed is B. So looking at any dice rolls, so he is going to be out, or he's going to be safe on a roll of 7 to 12. What? Because there'll be an error on him. So as far as stealing, this is going to be 7 to 11. But we're not going to steal. We're not going to steal. I've made up my own little house rule that most of these guys, if they're going to steal bases, they've got to have at least 7 to 8 slots out of 12 that say safe, just to be fair. That's my own house rule. But I mean, I think people do house rules for all kinds of stuff. All right, here's Cal Ripken Jr. All right, and this one is a 2 control, so we see that everything's color coded, and this is a strikeout.
Cal, in the midst of his, at the time he was just starting his big time 2,632 games consecutively played
Right.
streak without getting hurt.
Without getting hurt, exactly.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
Now, does this come with all the seasons?
This comes with a massive database. Yes, it does. Boy, am I glad you asked that. This is every Major League Baseball season from 1871 to 2023. It also has all the Negro Leagues. It has the All-American Girls Professional League. It has some seasons from Japanese baseball, Korean baseball.
Wow.
Has some NCAA seasons in here. Some, I think, about 22 or 23 years of minor leagues in it.
Dang.
Yeah, so the whole database is like over 300,000 players. It's huge. It's actually, so for perspective, it's larger as in terms of database than Out of the Park Baseball.
Wow.
And it's this humble download. It's about 200 megabytes. That's it. And again, we're going to have a look at the score sheet here. Now that we've had a couple batters, you can see here how it's filling in. Of course, you guys can see the type of score sheet it's using is the batter style as opposed to the by inning style. So how you feel about those type of score sheets, that's up to you. One nice thing would be, because when you buy the physical game, it does come with different types of score sheets that you can print or whatever. I'd like to see that incorporated into the Pocket Pennant Run software. But wait and see if that does get incorporated either in the next patch or further down. But Craig Harris and Matt McKeever, just excellent job. Again, what can I say? I love this game. It's just so much fun. Here's John Lowenstein here batting with 2 out. We're just going to finish this inning. So it's 11 on a batter's card. So we go to the batter's card. It's a 9, and it's a single with 2 asterisks. So that means that runners advance 2 bases. So again, we select play. We go to hit, and we go to this. And to me, this is no different than penciling something in a if you're just keeping score by hand in a cards and dice game. I don't mind the mouse clicking at all. Runners on first and third. And here's Ken Singleton. He's DH here for the Baltimore Orioles. And that's going to be a 6. Left, right, 12. Could be trouble. Park check 7. And, oh my goodness gracious, that is a double. And the runners advance 2 bases. Look out.
Look out.
All right. So the Orioles doing it up here. We'll enter play. And the Orioles take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. So Lowenstein picking up the RBI double. And then you can always click on the guys here if you forget who's on. So Lowenstein's at third. And, of course, Singleton. All right. And here comes Jim Dwyer now. And, of course, it gives their positions and all kinds of good stuff. And love that their ratings are right here. Just great. All right. This is a 2 off the and we see that this is a control check 11. And this one is a wild pitch. And when there's a runner on, we're scoring that a wild pitch, not a walk. So that's your choice. It's a wild pitch. So boop. And it's a wild pitch. And my God, how about that? And we go to wild pitch, and we enter play. I think there's going to be some fielding positioning as well in this game coming up in this patch.
Now, the Indians won the game 4-3, right? Now, I'm just curious.
They won the actual game, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's happening here is not what happened in real life.
No, we're playing the game.
Okay,
right.
Great.
Yeah, if you want what happened in real life, go to backtobaseball.com, and you can pick any game. I think going back to 1922 or something in baseball history, and you can just the game will read. Aaron, you would like it. It's got an audio where a narrator will read the score and it will replay so many games in history. And I've shown that on the channel here before. Backtobaseball.com.
You got
me. And you can go back. So here's what's really interesting about that. This is turning into a chin wag. One of the cool things that you can do in backtobaseball.com is, let's say you want to track a player's career. All right. And you want to find out, okay, when Roberto Clemente hit his first home run. Well, you can find that and you can actually go to the game. And then for in your instance, just have the audio do that, and it will pick up the game from that point. Or you can actually quote unquote listen to that game. Again, it's going to be the Microsoft, it's going to be the narrator. It's not going to be like you're listening to a real ball game, but it's really, really cool. Great research tool. And backtobaseball.com, put it in your arsenal along with Baseball Reference /StatHead, and of course Baseball Almanac. And this game is a nice little sort of research tool as well. Just looking there, if somebody would have said, oh, well, who won this game on that day, in August 10th, 1983? Well, the Indians won 4-3. How cool is that? I knew who pitched, what happened. Really, really cool stuff. Mm-hmm. All right, batter up here, 2 down. Oh, current batter has not yet hit. That's because I'm in Egypt. All right, here we go. All right, and that's a 7, and the other batter just didn't leave. That's okay. So this is a 7 off the batter's card. We go to that, and this one is so we have the asterisk obviously with 2 outs. It's just going to be a grounder first to end the inning. So again, we just got a ground ball, and we go first base and hit enter, and 3 outs, change sides, and that's basically. So the Baltimore Orioles score 2 in the bottom of the first and lead the Indians 2-0. There's no autoplay in this, but there's other ways. We're going to go ahead and down here at the bottom, of course, you guys can see you can bunt, you can hit and run, all that kind of stuff here. If you want to see a box score, there's the box score of the game as is going right now. And again, this super cool, super groovy. I love it. I love this score sheet, and it's keeping track of everybody. So, and what will happen too, as pitchers lose effectiveness, either by giving up more than 4 runs or just by surpassing the fatigue ratings, their card will change. So one advantage to using the software, right? So you're playing cards and dice, and this isn't any cards and dice baseball game. And when you have a pitcher fatigue, right, and you've got to knock him down, you have to, you got to remember that. This you don't. So what would happen is if we would play out this whole game. So Sorensen is good for 6 innings. That's his fatigue rating. Okay. And that's right there. We'll see his ratings. And then that number 6 represents his Boddicker as a 7. So let's say Sorensen would give up 4 or more runs or whatever. So it will drop him a grade, and you'll actually see the card change and everything will move up. If you leave him in, it'll keep going, keep going. So I like that feature as well. But that's a little look at Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. And once you get into the flow of the game, you're not trying to like broadcast it or whatever. Let me change sides here. There we go. The game moves along pretty quickly, actually. So, but we're going to go ahead. If I leave this game right now, it's saved. So I could come back to this game at any time I want. So just like Diamond Mine Baseball and Action PC Baseball, it saves after each at bat. So we're going to close that. And we're going to close that. And again, I talked about a season or whatever. So let's say, Aaron, pick a year for me, buddy.
Let's do my birth year of 1990.
So if I type in here 1990, I can choose to load the entire season, or a team schedule will load a season schedule. And we still have to select. Actually, we don't have to select a team. We can. The only time we have to select a team is we're doing a team schedule. So I'm just going to load the season schedule. Give it a minute. It's there. There's the entire 1990 season schedule. It's split up by month if you want to do it that way. You also see the scores of the actual games, the dates, their unique IDs. And then if you replay any of the games, and I can pick any one of these and play it, and it will show the replay score. I can also pick a game and just box score sim it. I can pick a range of games, either in a row or just by holding a control key. Maybe I just want to, auto play, let's say the Red Sox and Tigers, Royals and Orioles, and Cardinals and Expos. I can pick just those 3, let them auto play. You pretty much do what you want. You can pick a date from up here if you want to play on a specific day. You want to jump ahead to August. You want to play a game in August. Well, you can do it. Here it is. It's all right here. It's all right here. So lots of fun to be had.
Oh.
In the old No Games in March, not 1990. So that's a quick look again at Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. Since I didn't have it patched properly last time, I wanted you guys to see just some of what you can do with it. It also prints out really, really nice player cards too. So that's it.
Wow, that's good stuff.
I'm gonna have to edit this and say, and a quick look at PPR or something. But there is supposed to be a patch that's going to drop. The other thing that you can do with this game is, let's close out of this, is you can do a thing called Game Sim. Game Sim. So this Game Sim we'll get into another night. The Game Sim allows you to, you're going to set up visitor team, home team, all this kind of stuff, lineups, but you're going to set the conditions of how, when to bring in a relief pitcher each way. So if you want to just get down to a really kind of fun one-off or whatever, you can create that. But the one that I like better is Quick Play. So basically you just give it an ID, and we'll just do it. And I'll just call it game number 1, whatever. When you select league, here's where you see the databases right now. So this has Major League Baseball 1920 to 2023, Historical Major League Baseball 1871 to 1919, Negro League Baseball in 1920 to 1948, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League 1943 to 54. We have AAA minor leagues from 2000 to 2023, the NCAA, just 1 year of that, just 2022, the Nippon Professional League from Japan 1950 to 2023, and the Korean Baseball Organization 2001 to 2023. So I could play a Japanese team against the All-American Girls Professional Baseball if I wanted. Well, let's just do Major League, and we'll do 1990. All right, and let me see. Let's get the let's get the Phillies, and we will have the Phillies play your Reds. and 1990. Actually, let's not pick the Phillies from 1990 though. Let's have fun. Let's do the 1980 Philadelphia Phillies. There we
You
go.
did this with Apple once, if I ain't mistaken.
Hmm.
You did a 90 Reds, 80, was it 90 Reds, 80 Phillies, I believe is what you
Something
did.
like that. Yeah.
When I first found your channel.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't remember. Geez, I don't even remember what I did yesterday, Aaron. God. All right. So what I do is so this is all set up now for the 1980 Phillies to play the 1990 Reds. We click Add Teams. Do I want pitchers to hit? Damn right I do. Then I've got to select a starting pitcher for the Phillies, and you can see here that it gives all their ratings. Of course, I'm going to start Steve Carlton. And Aaron, who's going to start here for these Cincinnati Reds of 1990?
Let's have Mr. Daniel Lynn Jackson.
You got it.
Reds.
You got it. All right. We just hit enter. Okay. We have a lineup here. So things that you can do here, guys, if you have the Green Fox program, which is really cool, you can save your lineups to the Green Fox spreadsheet, and the way it automates playing cards and dice game, and it's system agnostic, doesn't care what you're using. You can save your lineups to Excel. You can save lineups to player cards, and you can save the lineups to a score sheet. So you could just save the lineups that are right here and just go on and roll the dice in whatever game you have, actually, if you want to. And of course, right in the middle, the best part of it is play game day. And we'll play ball. All right. And here we go. Who do we got here? Gary Maddox leading off against Danny Jackson. We'll just play an inning of this game, too. All right, here we go. Oh, my goodness gracious. Gary Maddox raising some hell possibly already. This is a 12. You know it's going to be a batter card. So on a 12, that's a park. And then for park, you go to power. That's a 3. And that is a single, which you can possibly stretch into a double. So we can see here, it's a single plus 9 and 2 asterisks. So we're going to go to here. We're going to go to hit. And we're going to see that it's right here. So I'm going to enter play. And it's going to say, do you want Gary Maddox, who's rated as an A, his speed is A, to stretch the hit per second against Ray Fielder, Glenn Bragg C? Yes. And he's safe. So that's pretty cool. So Gary Maddox opens things up here with a double. We'll hit batter up. And here's Manny Trio. Here's the pitch. That's a 2, control 6, and this is a drop third strike. So we go in here and we do drop K, select play, and then there's a chance that the catcher could drop the ball. All right, so fielder 1 is catcher, enter play. And Manny Trio tries to beat the throw on a drop third strike, and he is out. So 1 away, and brings up Charlie Hustle. And Rose promptly strikes out against Danny Jackson. All right.
Pete.
And here is Orlando Isales.
Isales.
Listen, 12 in the batter card. Yep. So this is a single runners advance to base. So this is going to be so Isales is going to pick up the RBI here. So we just go up here, and again we get a hit. Boom. First base 2 asterisks, runners advance 2 bases, a run scores, and the Phillies of 1980 take an early 1-0 lead. All right, here is Michael Jack Schmidt. You always have to say his middle name.
Michael Jack Schmidt.
So that's a 3.
Did that? Uh-oh.
So we can see off the red die that that's a 3. It's a control, and we look at the 1, and Schmidt strikes out.
Wow.
2 end the inning.
Damn.
Philadelphia Phillies pick up a run. Cincinnati Reds coming to bat. So Steve Carlton ready to go. And look at his numbers here. He is rated A's across the board.
Lights out.
Leading off here, Barry Larkin. And this is an 8 left right. So we look at number 8. And Barry Larkin leads it off with a single. We're going to let Aaron manage these Reds a little bit. Okay, so Barry Larkin's on at first.
All right. He's not much of a steal threat. You hardly ever see him steal.
He would be safe on a roll of 5 to 11.
Mm.
So he's a speed A. As I remember, Larkin had some decent speed, but
Yeah.
here we go. All right, here's Hal Morris.
Hal Morris.
All right, and this one grounded back to the pitcher. So this, and when you see this is defense check. So when we look over here, it says pitcher, but you also see here that the pitcher is circled. So when we click on pitcher, we look at the blue die, and it even tells you to look at the blue die. It's a 10, and it's a ground ball, but the runner is going to advance a base. So we'll select play, and we'll go ground ball with the asterisk, enter play, and we're going to go. This is going to be pitcher to first.
That'll get buried to second.
Yep. So Larkin in scoring position, 1 away, and it brings up Glenn Braggs.
Glenn Braggs.
Here's the pitch. All right. This is control and swing and a miss.
Victory.
That's exactly right.
Take
All
a
right. 2 down here for Chris Sabo.
Sabo.
This is a 10 off the pitcher card, and that's a batter 12. Park check and cup. Pow!
Gone.
It is gone. 2-run shot.
Strong,
by Chris
strong, and
Sabo.
she is gone.
There we go. So, and then you get the little crowd, little cartoon crowd home run.
Little fire.
And yep. So the Cincinnati Reds jumped in the lead here in the bottom of the first against the 1980 Phillies, 2-1. All right, brings up Eric Davis. What could have been, huh?
I know,
What
right?
a talented player.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
12.
Hall of Famer.
12 off the pitcher card, or yeah. So it's going to be a 12. So batter card. We'll get 1, and this is going to be just a ground out to second to end the inning.
So if it's like higher than, say, if the pitcher's card, the pitcher is like, if it's a pitcher rolls a 12, for example, and the batter rolls a 1, it's obviously in the pitcher's favor.
So I'll describe it to you.
Yes.
So there's 3 colored dice in this game,
Uh-huh.
right? Red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
So you always refer to the red die first, and that will guide you. So we're looking here at Danny Jackson.
Yep.
All right. So Danny Jackson, if you roll a 1 on the red die, it has a K.
Mhm.
So that's a strikeout.
Yep.
If you roll a 2 or a 3 for him, that's a control check. Then I would go to the next column, and we can see, for instance, let's say I rolled a 3-1-7. Well, I would say a 3 is a control, and under control for the 1 on the yellow die, it's a strikeout. So then you have the defense column that's also decided by the yellow die if it calls for defense from the pitcher's card. And then for batters, you have batters, then you have the left, right. And so another nice thing this game does in the cards, the physical game, you have to remember that when the pitcher has the advantage, the batter gets downgraded 1. The software does it automatically. Then you have the power check, and then you have the speed check. And so we have Larry Boa, speaking of speed. So here we go. So this is a 1 on the red die. I look over there, and Boa strikes out.
Boa.
So 1 away, batter up. It's going to be nice to not have the batter up thing anymore. I won't have to worry about that. That's going to be cool.
Is he going to get rid of that in the patch or something?
Yeah. So here's Greg Luzinski, and Luzinski strikes out. So Danny Jackson, he's whiffing him, man. He's bringing him up. He's doing it. And this game does keep track of what's been going on. So Danny Jackson has struck out 5 in this game. All right. And here comes Bob Boone. Okay, so we look, see in the 10 die, that's a red. 10 batter. We go to the batter column, it's 2, and it's a grounder to first, and that will end the inning.
Bob Boone was never a Red, but he managed the club for a little while.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he started. He didn't last long here, but he did manage because Aaron played here for a while too. But go ahead.
All right. Well, here we go. Steve Carlton is going to face Joe Oliver, Terry Lee, and Billy Bates.
Terry Lee. Gosh, I take it Terry Lee must be
click. And this one bounder to short, and We have a 10, and he bobbles the ball. No. It's sure he holds on to the ball, and the official scorer will call that one a single. Looked like an error from here, but they're scoring it a single. They're giving him the single.
Wow.
Okay, runner on first, batter up, and here's Terry Lee. And that's a 7, left, right. We go to that 1. And this one, oh my goodness. So he lines it to short. This is a possible double play ball. How about that?
Wow.
So then what we do is we go up here, and it's a line out double play. And this one's short, and that. And yeah, base is empty. Now, sometimes when you're clicking around, and if you pick the wrong fielders or whatever, it will say there's a better play, and it might say 5-4-3. Do you want to use that, or 4-6-3, or whatever? And you can click yes or no or whatever. And then again, if we look at the score sheet, it's going to show the double play and all that kind of stuff. Look at Danny Jackson, man. Danny Jackson's doing it up right now. So, yeah. I mean, I just love the flow of this game. All right, so 2 away, and Lou Piniella sends up Billy Bates. Here's the pitch, and Billy Bates, big swing and a miss. Steve Carlton picks up his second strikeout of the game. And we just changed sides. That's basically pocket pennant run, guys.
That's
new features
cool.
coming. Yeah, it is. It's
That
super
is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's.
I've
played this more than every other digital baseball game I have ever since I've gotten this. I've been playing this.
I've been messing with Back to Baseball since you told me about it, and I like how you can listen to it's a narrator, but it's like the highlights of a game.
It is. Yeah, it's not the whole game, but it's the highlights.
Obviously,
yeah.
The game, but
so
yeah,
I mean, you could go to just go to pivotal World Series, just whatever, and it's it's not like doing Ernie Harwell, but you are.
Right. It doesn't have to be.
No, and you are. You could track.
I think it's neat,
career teams. Oh, Back to Baseball is awesome. It really is, because it kind of brings Baseball Reference alive in a way, right? Because they're all using the same. It's all they're all using retro sheet data. Yeah. So anyhow, there we go. We did a couple games we did some baseball. We did Diamond Mine. We did an APA tutorial tonight and showed off a little bit more pocket pennant run. And I'll be showing this again once the patch drops. But yeah, I guess that's it. Aaron, thanks, and look forward to us hearing again all that Thursday night, 10:00 on this channel, Diamonds Dice Podcast, and we are on IMDb now, by the way. So
which one's on IMDb?
The Diamonds and Dice are Diamonds Dice podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, we're on an internet movie database.
How about that?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of podcasts on there now, which is
nice. All right, well, I'm gonna step on out of here and mess around and look around this website and see what kind of.
Have fun. Back to baseball, buddy.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, and I'll see you on Thursday.
All right, man. See you then. My
sir.
thanks go to Midlife Crisis. Dwayne Martz was in here tonight, and of course Aaron Reed, and we peaked out at about 7 during Diamond Mine baseball, so that was very, very cool. Thanks, guys, for coming in, and until next time, don't know when that's going to be. We'll see you around the batting cage.